Hey Capricorn family, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Deborah, this is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at your energy for the week. Whoop whoop. I hope you guys are doing well. Ooh, nice. Paradise and self-indulge, as we all should. It's been a little bit of a rough go to the beginning of the year. We're just wrapping up Pisces season, which is nice because it brings up a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling around things. Sometimes it's just kind of like hard to navigate all that emotional, all that water energy, but really it is like for our benefit. So we're looking at the highest and best energy out of this situation, right? Whatever Capricorn is dealing with, highest and best message is what I wanted to say. You know, it's kind of funny. Yeah. I feel like don't be so tense. Don't like kind of take time to breathe, reset, ground yourself a little bit. Maybe you have to have a conversation or do something that's making you feel a little nervous, a little hesitant to approach it. You're not really sure how it's gonna go, but I feel like you need to have the courage is what I'm hearing for you guys. All right, so with that, let's get into it. All right, Capricorn, welcome. Okay, yeah, so you know, I mean, this is that energy of you know, what I was hearing first and foremost, it's like breaking apart. You know, something needed to break apart in order for you to see things clearly, right? The hammer can be an energy of self-sabotage, the places that like our shadow self put us in situations that like we wish we weren't, you know, or create us to behave or react in a certain way. But what I love about the hammer too is that a lot of it is about rebuilding. And maybe that's where kind of that nervous tension was coming into play that I was picking up at the very beginning of our reading. The talking energy obviously points to the fact that a conversation needs to be had, you know? I think that it's actually gonna bring more clarity to the situation. You know, maybe you do kind of have to, block someone is what I'm hearing. Whether this here's the thing, I'm kind of seeing it as like, I feel like whether someone was gossiping to you about something or, you know, you kind of feel like this underlying tension, this kind of like, and you're afraid to find out is what I'm hearing. I feel like you have to talk to someone to find out more information about this dynamic. I think that these are two different issues or situations happening. I feel like it's about finding out information about this person that feels a little, that you're uncertain about. Yeah, girl talk. So this is connecting with someone who has a true, honest perspective. Perhaps you've been picking up some stuff about someone for quite some time. I feel like you don't get the full story. I'm hearing that this person lies about a lot. Maybe you don't like how things have worked out. There's some grief that goes back to that hammer of self-sabotage is what I'm hearing. But I feel like Capricorn, you're in a space of rebuilding and growth, you know? We all need to take that time out in order to heal, right? I feel like when we're in healing mode, we need to be so gentle, so gracious with ourselves, because that's the way we can kind of come back stronger and more put together. It's when we, you know, maybe we relied too much on someone. Like I said, that lying energy is coming out with the Seven of Swords. So I feel like you're getting some clarity on this week, Capricorn. It's actually shedding a lot of light onto the situation at hand and who this person is. Maybe you avoided, like I said, finding out that information Maybe you are harboring some resentment and therefore resistance to the situation, but things are changing, right? The Wheel of Fortune. I always like the Wheel of Fortune because in my mind, it does mean blessing. Is it like ultimate abundance? Sometimes, right? If we've been coming from a space of hardship, doing the due diligence, putting in the work, etc., that's really when we like reap blessings, benefits, bounty. It's ruled by Jupiter, right? So that's like our great benefact. It's what brings us that abundance. And I feel like you know that, you see that. But it's hard for you because there's something else. Like I said, there's that Two of Wands. So something is kind of gnawing at you underneath the surface. Maybe you thought something that was going to go one way has in fact gone a completely different way. King of Wands, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have a lot of fire energy on the board, which really speaks to like movement, action, creative action. You know, I feel like you're, like I said, something is coming out. Yeah, there's been conflict, Five of Wands. So there's been conflict. I mean, it's kind of funny, like whether you were fighting over a person or with a friend about a situation, a coworker, etc. Like, it's so hilarious, these two zombie boys, you know, fighting over that arm, that guy, or the leg. The dude's trying to crawl away, save what's left of his life. You know, sorry, my little tangent. But yeah, this is like, you know, I think you've had conflict around something or someone, a situation that you didn't see 100% clearly. But I do feel like some of it was being fed to you by someone else. You also probably didn't really look too hard is what I'm hearing. No shade to you. We all do it. Yeah. This is kind of just being defensive, not really like trusting someone. I hear like putting the scrutinizing eye towards them, which, like I said, you know, sometimes we are really protective of our energy. Sometimes we are really leery about other people, places, and things. And I think you, I don't know, like, I think you, like I said, I think you were uncertain about it. Maybe you listened to the gossip. Maybe you followed the crowd. You know, all these zombies behind that dude as he's like eating the woman's arm. Like, instead of maybe listening to the truth, to the reality, it was more the gossip and the BS that was surrounding you. Yeah. The Empress. That's Taurus, Libra energy. It's earth energy. It's the way that you want to present yourself, right? She is ultimate abundance. She does bring in blessings. She is very protective of those that, you know, surround her, that are underneath her flock, so to speak. I'm hearing like you didn't want to let anybody in or someone in to your inner circle. And maybe they saw the situation a little bit differently, you know, with the Six of Cups. Like, there was some connection, yeah, with the Three of Cups. That's about like friends and connection and coming together, kind of a celebratory energy. This reminds me a lot about like community, people that we have those soul connections with. And that's how, you know, the situation that you're dealing with, the Hermit, Virgo energy, maybe someone who just is a little bit more reclusive, isn't out and about all the time. There's that earth energy, right? Grounded, doing a lot of healing, restoration, right? She's relaxing on the couch as the zombies are trying, you know, she's boarded herself up. She's given herself that time, that space, that energy to heal. And sometimes when people do recluse or we don't see them all the time or hear from them all the time, it's easy to assume, right? Because on your end, Capricorn, there is a little more resistance and conflict around it. And on their end, it's like, well, I thought we were friends, you know? And And obviously this can be reversed. The energy can flip-flop. But this is basically saying that your emotions, your fears were getting the best of you. It was really blocking you from clearly seeing the situation. And I feel like that's where this overarching energy comes into play for you. Because you're like, wow, I see that things are actually like moving forward. Maybe this person is getting better or doing better, or, you know, things are coming in for them. The places that you doubted this person or situation, it's changing. And it's kind of hard for you to wrap your head around right now. But like I said, I also feel like someone kind of got in the middle of that. There is this energy of gossip, but like I said, it's also not dealing, being avoidant, etc. This person, you could have felt like they were avoiding you, because the Hermit energy is very solitary. It's very independent. It's someone who's going to kind of like, you know, like just have more alone time. It's the Hermit. So like obviously that's about hermiting ourselves. And maybe you had different expectations of what that was going to look like. It's challenging when there's miscommunication or not complete understanding around something and we don't talk about it, because, you know, it's basically like, I don't know. I mean, with the Devil present, maybe this is something that like you were really afraid of. The Devil is your energy, Capricorn, right? And not because you are the Devil, don't hear it like that. You're the sign that can handle the Devil, right? You are very strong and, you know, in control, and you have your stuff together. It's a very grounded energy. In my opinion, it's like the most earthiest of the earth energies, if that makes sense, you know? But I think sometimes with the Devil, it's like we have to make sure that we're not overly controlling people, places, and things. That we're not using that strength to manipulate or like bamboozle other people. Because you are, like I said, you do have more of this Wands energy in your energy, to be redundant. But this is, you know, this is kind of like fighting. 1, 2, 3, 4 was on the clock as I said that. So this is like fighting, like being on the defensive, not really getting all the information. And then, like I said, then it ends up becoming more messy. And to me, it looks like this person or situation that you're dealing with, that's not even in their wheelhouse, you know? They look fondly upon you. They have that friendly connection. It's just kind of like they're doing their own thing is how I see it, you know? It could be a family member, maybe just like... But in reality, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of burdens. I mean, modern day, life demands so much of us. And sometimes when we're in that space, we get super emotional, right? When we're dealing with too much. And maybe like you were looking at the person or situation out of your own, that lens of emotion, stress, burden, I have to do everything all by myself, you know, maybe a little pissed off, not feeling supported, understood, heard, loved, you know. But that kind of goes back to that energy of self-sabotage. That's why it is so important to like know who we are. We need to know, like, you know, when we're kind of like, you know, starting to go down the K-hole, so to speak. And that's where that Virgo energy becomes so important. And you are good at that, Capricorn, like knowing when to kind of like hibernate. Jade Orchid just popped out. But I think it's also taking it a step further and using it as an opportunity to heal and cleanse yourself from the situation versus like holding on to like whatever is pissing you off or making you frustrated or whatever. Because I do think there is a little bit of a misunderstanding. I do think other people played a role in that. Like I said, there is this energy of like gossip or not really like knowing the full story, kind of making assumptions type thing. And, you know, you're better than that is what I'm hearing, right? Yeah. It's like tapping into, sometimes, like, here's the thing, I think sometimes, and especially for earth energy, you know, number one in life, we're so trained to disconnect from our intuition. And that comes from the feeling, the sensing into the quieter moments, right? And I feel like your intuition was telling you this about this person's situation, but you didn't really want to listen, you know? And that's where what I was saying is, like, we get so used to just looking at the practical, what's actually happening in front of us, which I think, yes, ouch, sorry guys, I think is true. I think is true. But I feel, again, it kind of goes back to, there was something else that wasn't being seen. I feel like you're gonna find some of this out this week, Capricorn. Yeah. Maybe there is a part of them that is a little bit confusing. Nightshades can be toxic. Maybe there's fear around that. Maybe you do feel like this person is toxic. There definitely is a toxic person in this environment. It is going to be revealed in time, and perhaps it's this week, but I also feel like there is this potential for healing and understanding, and I do think you are going to be, I don't know, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of emotion around this, and maybe that's part of what's not being acknowledged. Sometimes if we just say, hey, this hurt my feelings, this is what happened, etc., it helps clear the air. It's important, I think, to, like I said, find out that information, kind of like, I don't know, you know, spend time with friends, people you trust, people you feel supported, that can kind of give you maybe a little bit more of a level-headed perspective, someone who's not emotionally involved in the situation. It's going to give you more clarity around this. I'm not sure that things clear up because there is this element. Like I said, it's just a lot of ones energy, so be really conscious of where you're letting your frustration, your anger get the best of you. Try not to hold on to too much. That often happens when we don't have clarity as well, when we are kind of making assumptions. So, and really it's just for your benefit, you know, like it's just going to help you feel better and step more into that abundance. The more you're willing to let the BS go. So I hope that helps. It's just the energy for this week. Hopefully things will like brighten up a little bit next week. I am sending so much love and good vibes to your situation, Capricorn. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely give a big thumbs up if it resonated. Drop comments below. I would love to connect and build and grow the community. All right, guys, lots of love. Enjoy your day.